Welcome back, everyone. My name is Chin, and this is Moving Around the World. Today, we are diving into one of the greatest food cities on the planet, Hong Kong. If you love food, if you plan your trips around what you are going to eat next, then this city belongs at the top of your list. Hong Kong is not just a place where you eat well. It is a place where food tells a story. Every dish connects you to generations of tradition, migration, and daily life. From tiny street stalls to legendary restaurants that have been cooking the same recipes for decades, Hong Kong delivers flavor at every corner. Over the course of this journey, we are exploring 15 of the best things you absolutely need to eat when you visit Hong Kong. This is not about fancy dining only, and it is not about trends. This is about the food that locals love, the food that defines the city, and the food that makes people fall in love with Hong Kong again and again. The energy here is fast, the streets are packed, and yet food remains deeply personal. You sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers. You order quickly, you eat quickly, and somehow the experience stays with you forever. Hong Kong food is comforting, bold, rich, and honest. You will taste deep broths that have been simmering for hours, roasted meats that crackle with every bite, silky textures that melt on your tongue, and snacks that you will crave long after you leave. This video is for first-time visitors, returning travelers, and anyone who dreams about food while planning their next trip. As we move through these flavors, imagine yourself walking these streets, hearing the sounds, feeling the humidity, and chasing the next unforgettable bite. Stick with me until the end, because the last few dishes might surprise you the most. And if food travel is your thing, make sure to subscribe. Comment with your favorite Hong Kong dish and share this video with someone who would eat their way through the city with you. The first thing you need to eat in Hong Kong is wonton noodles, and there is no better introduction to the city than this humble bowl. This dish looks simple, but do not let that fool you. A good bowl of wonton noodles is all about balance, precision, and respect for technique. The broth should be clear but deeply flavorful, usually made from dried seafood and pork bones. The noodles should be springy and firm, never mushy. And the wontons themselves should be packed with juicy shrimp and just enough pork to bring everything together. When you take your first spoonful of broth, it immediately tells you whether the place knows what they are doing. Then you bite into the noodle, which should bounce slightly between your teeth. And finally, you reach the wonton, often surprisingly large, filled with sweet shrimp that tastes fresh and clean. This is the kind of meal locals eat quickly, often standing or sharing a table, and then they move on with their day. It is comfort food, but it is also craftsmanship. Right after that, you cannot visit Hong Kong without eating dim sum. Dim sum is not just a meal, it is a ritual. It is about sharing, ordering many small plates, and eating slowly with tea. Siu mai and har gow are the heart of dim sum culture. You want plump shrimp, thin skins, and fillings that are juicy and fragrant. The best dim sum places move fast, and the energy inside is part of the experience. Plates hit the table quickly, steam rises, and conversations blend together. Eating dim sum in Hong Kong feels like stepping into the rhythm of the city itself. It is lively, efficient, and deeply satisfying. This is where Hong Kong shows you how something simple can be perfected over generations. Next, you have to experience Hong Kong roasted meats, and this is where things get serious. Roast goose is legendary here, and for good reason. The skin is crisp, the meat is juicy, and the aroma alone is enough to stop you in your tracks. When done right, roast goose has a rich, almost smoky fragrance that fills the room. The skin shatters lightly when you bite into it, while the fat melts and the meat stays tender. Alongside goose, you will often find char siu and roast pork belly. Char siu is sweet, glossy, and deeply savory, while roast pork belly delivers a dramatic contrast between crackling skin and soft, juicy meat underneath. These meats are often served simply with rice and a drizzle of sauce because they do not need much else. This is food that speaks for itself. Watching the chefs slice the meat behind glass windows is part of the magic. It is fast, precise, and confident. Then there is Hong Kong-style milk tea, which might look like just another drink, but it is far more than that. This tea is strong, smooth, and rich, often brewed through a cloth filter that gives it a silky texture. Served hot or cold, it is bold and unapologetic. It pairs perfectly with pastries and breakfast foods, and it fuels the city throughout the day. You might wait in line for it, and once you taste it, you will understand why. This is not a delicate tea. It is powerful, comforting, and iconic. Egg tarts are another must-eat, and Hong Kong does them exceptionally well. The crust should be flaky and crisp, while the custard inside should be smooth, creamy, and not overly sweet. Some places use puff pastry, others use short crust, and both have their fans. When you take a bite, the contrast between the crisp shell and the soft custard is pure joy. These tarts disappear quickly, often eaten standing on the street or carried away in small boxes. Then there are steamed rice rolls, also known as chung fun. This dish is all about texture. The rice sheet should be silky, delicate, and almost melt in your mouth. Topped with sweet sauce, soy sauce, peanut sauce, and sometimes chili, it becomes deeply comforting. The beauty of chung fun is in its simplicity. It proves that you do not need complexity to create something memorable. Soy-based desserts are another important part of Hong Kong food culture. Soy milk, tofu pudding, and variations of both are refreshing, light, and subtly sweet. These desserts often come at the end of a long day of eating, offering something gentle and soothing. They remind you that Hong Kong food is not only about bold flavors, but also about balance. Street food is where Hong Kong becomes playful. Curry fish balls are one of the most famous snacks you will find. Served hot, spicy, and slightly bouncy, they are perfect for eating while walking through night markets. The curry sauce is fragrant and warming, especially on cooler evenings. Egg waffles are another classic street snack that you need to try. Crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, they are comforting and nostalgic. Pineapple buns, despite their name, contain no pineapple at all. Instead, they feature a sweet, crackled topping and are often served with a thick slab of butter inside. The contrast between warm bread and cold butter is unforgettable. Hong Kong cafes, known as Chai Chan Tangs, are essential stops. They blend local flavors with Western influences, creating dishes that feel uniquely Hong Kong. French toast here is indulgent. Fried until golden, topped with butter and drenched in syrup or honey. It is rich, messy, and absolutely delicious. These cafes are where locals eat daily meals, read newspapers, and escape the rush of the city. Every dish reflects history, trade, and cultural exchange. From British influences to Cantonese traditions, everything blends together seamlessly. Beef brisket noodles are another highlight that you cannot miss. The broth is rich, aromatic, and comforting, while the beef is tender and full of flavor. The noodles remain springy, even as they soak up the broth. Every bite feels intentional, even when it is casual. What makes eating in Hong Kong special is not just the food itself, but the experience around it. You queue, you share tables, you eat quickly, and somehow it all feels right. The city moves fast, but food remains a moment of pause. Every neighborhood has its specialties, its favorite stalls, and its loyal customers. Food connects people here. It creates conversations, routines, and memories. Whether you are eating in a crowded market, a small family-run shop, or a bustling cafe, you feel part of something larger. Hong Kong teaches you that great food does not need to be complicated. It needs to be honest. And once you understand that, every meal becomes more meaningful. Hong Kong is a city you do not just visit, you taste it. These 15 foods are more than recommendations. They are an invitation. An invitation to explore, to be curious, and to eat without hesitation. Food is how Hong Kong introduces itself to you, and once it does, it stays with you. If you enjoyed this journey through Hong Kong's food scene, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Moving Around the World, and share it with someone who loves food as much as you do. I will see you in the next destination.